Hey guys, Mike here. So today, I'm here to talk to you about 1998's Mulan, starring Ming-Na as Mulan. In Mulan, to save her father from dying in the army, a young maiden secretly goes in his place and becomes one of China's greatest heroines in the process. And so we have Mulan. So guys, today's review was requested by no one. This is one I just wanted to talk about because I never actually did a review for this film, because I kind of talked about this film as a part of my Mulan 2020 review. Then a couple of days ago I decided I wanted to rewatch Mulan, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to actually do a separate review for this film. So in this review, I may be saying a couple of the same things that I said in my Mulan 2020 review. So if you end up watching that review and also this one, you may hear some of the same things repeated. But in any case, what did I think of Mulan? Well, to be honest, I remembered I was very kind to the new Mulan movie. Because to be honest, I don't hate that movie as much as most other people do. I can fully understand why so many people are so passionate in their disdain for that new movie. And to be honest, on pretty much every single point that most people have brought up, I 100% agree. Even though I didn't hate it that much, I don't think it comes anywhere close to being as good as the original Mulan. The character in the new movie is nowhere near as likable as the original character. There's no singing, there's no Mushu. It just does not have any of the charm of the original one. There are some impressive shots in that film, but as a whole, just near enough every single shot from the original film is just better than the new one. And when people say that the new Mulan movie is the worst live-action Disney remake, I can understand that point, but me personally, I still think that the new Lion King movie is much worse. Though to be honest, I imagine some of it comes down to personal nostalgia. Because for me, Lion King was one of the first movies I ever remember seeing in my life, and I absolutely love that film. So when it came to the remake and it just not capturing the same kind of magic, and somehow just being worse than the original one, I was more upset. Whereas with Mulan, I only watched this movie for the first time this year, so I don't have the same nostalgic attachment as some people do. But in any case, enough bashing of the new movie, let's talk about the original. Mulan is such a great character. She's funny, she's smart, she's capable, she's compassionate, she's just everything that makes a great movie heroine. But one of the things that makes her character so great is that her journey felt earned. And it felt personal as well. Because again, bashing the new movie, everything that new Mulan did just did not feel earned. Because obviously she still has some of the same problems that the original Mulan had. The fact that women weren't able to serve in the military. In the new Mulan, it's the fact that she's constantly holding back, and it's when she unleashes her power, that's when she can become the warrior she's meant to be. And for the whole film, it really just felt like she was trying to prove something, which in some characters can make them compelling, but when there's absolutely zero struggle for the character, it makes them completely uncompelling. Whereas the original Mulan, she didn't go to serve in the military because she wanted to prove something. She did it to save her father. It isn't about proving to other people, it's more about kind of proving it to herself that she's actually worth something. I mean, there's a scene as well where she actually is given the chance just to go home. She would have fulfilled the service and she would have saved her father. But it gets to that point where she's just really trying to prove something to herself. Does she carry on? And obviously as well in the new movie, there's the scene where she ends up getting revealed, but it's for her own choice to unleash her power. Whereas, again, the original Mulan, it wasn't about that. She only got revealed by accident, really. But honestly, the most inspiring scene, which makes the whole movie worth it, is the scene when she's trying to climb the pole in order to get the arrow, and she breaks out from the shadow, pulling herself up into the light. That single scene is more inspiring than anything that happened in that whole other movie. Because in this scene, it shows that she's not only a capable warrior, but also a competent one as well. And that is Mulan's greatest strength. The fact that she actually uses her head to get through a situation. I mean, she still does prove herself in what little hand-to-hand combat scene she actually has. But more often than not, it's her wits and her will that get her through the day. And then obviously, the music for Mulan. Now, there's only about like 4 songs in this whole film, which is slightly less than the average musical. But what Mulan lacks in quantity with their songs, they more than make up for in quality. Now obviously some songs are better than others. The You'll Bring Honor song obviously sets up what Mulan's character is supposed to be, and in this scene where they're trying to make her something that she's obviously not, you get to see who she really is. You get to see that she's smart, you get to see she's compassionate, and that she's actually like a bit of a goofball as well. But really the song that gets to the heart of her character is Reflection, where she really just wants to be herself but she knows she can't, so every day when she looks in the mirror, she just doesn't recognize the person in front of her, which is definitely a very impactful song. And I imagine some people have had this exact same situation where they just really don't recognize themselves and they just want to be someone else. And as well, A Girl Worth Fighting For. A good song, but at times it can be a little bit graining. It does have a kind of bit of funny symbolism when they're talking about the girls worth fighting for, when towards the end of the film, Mulan becomes the girl that they're fighting with and also for. But then obviously, easily, the best song in the whole movie is I'll Make a Man Out of You. Brilliantly performed by Donny Osmond, a sentence which I never thought I'd say. Everything about this song just encapsulates everything that's great about Mulan's journey. The fact that it cuts down a lot of Mulan's training, but at the same time, you get to see the journey that she goes through. So it's an effective time saver and also condenses the story as well. I mean, I knew as soon as I heard this song for the first time that it was just gonna go on my list as one of my favourite songs from any musical. And I don't know how many times I've listened to this song. I must have listened to it 10, 20, I don't know, probably 30 times. I just absolutely love this song. And it just pretty much goes with any kind of training montage. It's powerful, it's inspiring, it's just such a catchy, brilliantly composed song, which easily fits in brilliantly with some of Disney's best songs. But then another brilliant scene from this film comes towards the very end. When Mulan has saved China and defeated all the bad guys, she goes back to her father, bringing him not one, but two symbols of greatness. The sword of their enemy and the Emperor's seal, thinking that these gifts will please her father. But he hardly even looks at them, he just throws them to the side and just embraces his daughter and tells her, the greatest gift I've ever had is having you for a daughter. It just showed that no matter what Mulan did, her father was always going to be proud of her, which is just such a brilliant way to end a film. Overall, guys, Mulan is incredible. Easily one of Disney's best movies that they've ever made. And no matter what they could do with a live-action remake, they just could not top the brilliance of this film. Mulan as a lead is brilliant, the supporting cast are great, the music is excellent, the animation is gorgeous, all-round amazing film. But do I think you guys should watch this one? Absolutely. If you haven't already seen Mulan, then you absolutely need to check this film out. Honestly, if you're like me and you watch the original one so you can kind of have perspective on the new movie, I'd say watch the original one and then just don't bother watching the new one. It doesn't do anything better than the original movie. And honestly, I just question the necessity of its existence. Mulan could have been one of those movies where it would have been brilliantly translated to live action, but somehow they just messed it up. So do yourselves a favour, just watch the original 1998 Mulan. Okay guys, that's my review of Mulan. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think I should watch next? Whatever it is, drop it in the comments below. Until next time, I've been Michael. See ya!